Q106.7 weather.
Here's your KQNK forecast. Bright sunshine expected today with highs around 77. Northwesterly winds 10 to 20 miles per hour. Clear skies again tonight, 42. Daytime highs approaching 78. Tomorrow, mainly sunny skies. Chance of rain showers Sunday with highs in the upper 70s. Slight chance for storms and highs in the low 80s on Monday. From the Weatherology Weather Center, I'm staff meteorologist Laura Lockwood. Currently 57.
Kansas Information Network News, I'm Jen Austin. There was an earthquake in central Kansas. Roxanne Stewart has more.
The U.S. Geological Survey reports the 3.6 magnitude earthquake was registered at around 4:30 Thursday afternoon, northwest of Harrington in Dickinson County. It registered as a 4 on the modified Mercalli intensity scale, meaning things around the house may have moved or folks may have felt it. Even though we're in the middle of the country, the Humboldt Fault Zone does run under the Kansas Prairie. For more information, go to earthquake.usgs.gov. I'm Roxanne Stewart.
13-year-old Shamar Jefferson of Wichita has passed away. He played in a basketball game at the Wichita Sports Forum in March when he was hit in the head and spent more than a month in ICU with a brain bleed. He passed away this week. Jefferson was an 8th grader at Stuckey Middle School and was on track to make the Wichita Heights High School varsity team next year. Shamar Jefferson's family confirmed the death on social media this week and thanked everyone for support. This is Kansas Information Network News.
Hi, I'm Barbara, and I work for social services. On our lobby wall, there's a picture of this kid I used to work with. She's all of 17 years old, and she's on one of those missing posters. Unfortunately, that happens to a lot of our kids who don't have somebody to step up for them. They stay in foster care for years, they aren't adopted, and they age out. They either wind up in jail or they live on the streets.
The Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption works every day to find safe, permanent homes for children at risk of aging out of foster care before it's too late.
I adopted 2 teenagers from foster care. Their outlook on life changed. If I can do a little bit to help, it's worth it.
You can help too. Learn more at davethomasfoundation.org.
Good morning, I'm Natalie Hadley with your KQNK News. Brought to you by Firebolt Ag, LLC, serving all of your chemical and fertilizer needs. On Wednesday, Kansas Attorney General Chris Kobach announced that a federal judge has granted the state of Kansas's motion to remand its false advertising lawsuit against Pfizer Incorporated back to state court. Kobach said this victory is the first step in bringing justice to the Kansans who were misled by the false statements made by Pfizer regarding the health risks of its COVID-19 vaccine. The case will now proceed in state court, which is where a claim under the Kansas Consumer Protection Act belongs, according to Kobach. In June 2024, Attorney General Kobach filed suit against Pfizer Incorporated in Thomas County, Kansas, for violations of the Kansas Consumer Protection Act related to its claims of vaccine efficiency, safety, and particularly claims that its vaccine was safe for pregnant women and posed no risk for myocarditis or pericarditis. Despite this being a question of state law filed in state court, Pfizer attempted to postpone and frustrate the Attorney General's enforcement action by taking the case out of state court and moving it to federal court. Judge Crabtree of the U.S. District Court for the District of Kansas has brought an end to Pfizer's delaying tactic and ordered that the matter be returned to state court where enforcement of Kansas consumer protection law can once again move forward. The Attorney General's complaint alleged internal studies at Pfizer showed the potential for adverse effects of the COVID-19 vaccine, while the company publicly marketed the vaccine as safe and effective. Governor Kelly has signed a proclamation approving updated drought declarations for Kansas counties, saying that as drought conditions have persisted across Kansas through the winter and spring, they must respond accordingly. And as we head into the summer months, where we typically see drier conditions, she urges Kansans to consider their water usage and take extra care to prevent wildfires. The drought declaration placed 3 counties into emergency status, 39 counties into warning status, and 63 counties into watch status. And this action was recommended by Connie Owen, the director of the Kansas Water Office and chair of the governor's drought response team. Precipitation totals have varied widely across Kansas in recent weeks, with some eastern and southeastern counties receiving heavy rainfall that temporarily improved surface moisture, while central and western regions continue to experience worsening drought conditions. Despite these isolated rains, much of the state remains below average for cumulative precipitation, with ongoing deficits in soil moisture and declining stream flows. Connie Owens at the governor's drought response team will continue to monitor the drought conditions across Kansas and make recommendations to Governor Kelly as the conditions change. The proclamation will remain in effect for the counties identified until rescinded by a proclamation ending the declaration or by revising the drought stage status of the affected counties. Among the county drought stage declarations locally, a drought warning is in effect for Decatur, Phillips, Rawlins, Smith, and Norton counties. For more detailed information about current conditions and county declarations, you can visit the Climate and Drought webpage on the Kansas Water Office website at kwo.ks.gov. The Kansas 911 Coordinating Council rolled out an emergency mobile dispatch center, calling it a game changer for emergency response in the Sunflower State. The state-of-the-art mobile unit is designed to support 911 dispatchers, a concept that began in 2021 to address the shortage of 911 training across the state. And council officials say the unit will provide operational assistance wherever needed. A mobile dispatch center can replace a 911 center when a natural disaster strikes, and it can be driven to any emergency site across Kansas. This emergency mobile dispatch and training center has the ability to connect to any of those public safety answering points or 911 centers anywhere in the state, providing 911 centers with additional seats to take overflow calls. The primary function is to provide hands-on training for rural centers, and if they take the training to them and make it a half-a-day event rather than a day to travel back, it helps out a lot. And the mobile command center will be housed in Great Bend for now, helping those who answer the call every day. In Nebraska news, a Culbertson man faces more than 70 charges accused of illegally selling livestock not belonging to him. 31-year-old Alexander Pullman of Culbertson has been charged in 3 different cases in Dawson, Hitchcock, and Red Willow counties with a total 70 counts of illegal sale of livestock, 2 counts of theft by unlawful taking, 1 count of theft by deception, more than $5,000, and 1 count of issuing a bad check, more than $5,000. Hitchcock County court records show that on or around November 5, 2023, Pullman illegally sold 12 head of cattle not belonging to him to a livestock producer in Chase County. Red Willow County court records say on or about September 9, 2024, Pullman sold livestock belonging to that same livestock producer at Tri-State Livestock in McCook. And a citation says he sold 12 head of cattle to cover the payment for the cattle sold to the Chase County livestock producer. In Dawson County court records say Pullman illegally sold cattle belonging to another producer at Lexington Livestock and issued a bad check for more than $5,000, knowing that he didn't have sufficient funds in or credit for the payment of the check. In the Hitchcock and Red Willow County cases, Pullman's bond has been set at $75,000 personal recognizance, respectfully, which he has since been filed. His next court date in both cases is set for 2 p.m. May 29th in Red Willow County Court. Pullman is set to be arraigned in the Dawson County case at 9 a.m. on Tuesday. Weather permitting, a railroad crossing project will begin Monday, May 19th on U.S. Highway 136, U.S. 136 in Edison at reference point 195, according to the Nebraska Department of Transportation. The crossing repair work is being done by the Burlington Northern Santa Fe Railway, and drivers should follow the marked detour, and the work is anticipated to take 4 days. Motorists are reminded to drive cautiously in and near work zones, to buckle up, and to put their phones down. I'll be back with more in just a moment.
Firebolt Ag is a full-service fertilizer and chemical retailer. They customize products for individual farmers' needs, with the primary focus being customer profitability. Let Josh and Jack help you get the most out of your farm ground. They also provide in-house marketing with Ron Wall of Flatwater Solutions. Visit Ron in Phillipsburg or call Josh at 785-854-8484 or Jack at 308-840-2819. Firebolt Ag, your leader in agriculture.
5 out of Kansas's 6 state universities are seeking tuition increases for the next fiscal year, and Wichita State is among that group, seeking 3.5%. The schools say the requested increase is due to a number of factors, including federal funding uncertainty, the need to provide more than $3 million to athletics programs, and a reduction of international student enrollment. Kansas State University is seeking a 3.5% tuition bump for the next fiscal year, while the University of Kansas requested a 3% tuition increase. Pittsburgh State is asking for a 2.5% increase, and Fort Hays State is requesting the biggest tuition jump of 4%. Emporia State is the lone state university not requesting a tuition increase for the next fiscal year. The changes haven't been approved yet, as the Board of Regents still has to decide whether to allow them. Kansas is hosting another virtual job fair and inviting job seekers and employers from all industries to sign up. Kansas Works is organizing the statewide virtual job fair, which will run from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. starting today, May 16th through May 18th. Lieutenant Governor and Secretary of Commerce David Tolan said over a 3-day period, companies will be conducting interviews to fill a wide array of positions. He said there are many hardworking Kansans who simply don't have time to scout out new career options during the week. During the virtual job fair, job seekers can use any digital device, such as computers, tablets, or smartphones, to join the job fair and fill out applications. And applicants are encouraged to dress professionally, as employers may request to engage in a video interview during the virtual job fair. Job seekers and employers must register in advance, even if they have participated in previous virtual job fairs, at kansasworks.com. The link includes helpful information, such as a job seeker training video and a video interview tutorial. Individuals with disabilities can request accommodations at 877-509-6757. On Monday, a multi-agency effort led to the swift apprehension of a subject who fled the scene of a vehicle crash involving a semi-truck and a pickup. The Norton County Sheriff's Office reported that they received a 911 call regarding the collision at the intersection of Kansas Highway 9 and US 283, and emergency responders were immediately dispatched to the location. Upon arrival, deputies learned that the individual involved in the pickup truck had left the accident scene, and the Norton County Sheriff's Office, in collaboration with the Kansas Highway Patrol, then established a perimeter around the area to contain the subject. The search involved the deployment of Kansas Highway Patrol K-9 units and the Kansas Highway Patrol aircraft, and following an extensive and thorough search, the individual was successfully located and taken into custody without any further incident. Norton County Sheriff Troy M. Thompson expressed his gratitude to all agencies and personnel involved in the response, including the Norton County dispatchers and deputies, the Lenora Fire Department, the Norton County EMS, and the Kansas Highway Patrol, for their assistance in the effort. Memorial Day weekend is the unofficial start of summer and road trips, and with that, the Kansas Department of Transportation, the Kansas Highway Patrol, and the Kansas Turnpike Authority urge drivers and passengers to always buckle up in a motor vehicle. Transportation Secretary Calvin Reed said making sure you and your passengers are buckled up should be your top priority before starting your vehicle, because not wearing a seatbelt has potentially fatal consequences. So you need to make sure everyone in your vehicle is properly restrained. Drivers will see an increased law enforcement presence on Kansas roads during the National Click It or Ticket campaign, which runs from May 18th to June 1st. Kansas Highway Patrol Colonel Eric Smith stated that Memorial Day is one of the busiest travel holidays in the nation, and using a seatbelt is one of the safest choices drivers and passengers can make. He said everyone has an important role to play in helping to keep Kansans safe on the roadways, so please make certain that all occupants are buckled up every trip, every time. Preliminary 2024 data shows that nearly 47% of people killed and 32% of those seriously injured in passenger motor vehicle crashes were unbelted. For the latest updates on road closures and conditions, you can visit candrive.gov or call 511 in Kansas. And travelers who need assistance on the highway can dial star 47 for the Kansas Highway Patrol, and if it's an emergency, call 911. I'm Natalie Hadley. Your KQNK News was brought to you by Firebolt Ag, LLC, farmers helping farmers to succeed. You can contact Firebolt Ag today to get the most out of your farmland. Your KQNK weather forecast is being brought to you by Hinkle Termite and Pest Control, your Norton experts for all of your pest control needs. Your forecast for today, it should be sunny with a high near 77 and breezy with a northwest wind of 15 to 25 miles per hour and gusts as high as 40 miles per hour. For tonight, it should be clear with a low around 42 and breezy with wind gusts as high as 30 miles per hour. On Saturday, it should be sunny with a high near 78. On Saturday night, a 30% chance of showers after 1 a.m., otherwise partly cloudy with a low around 50. On Sunday, there's a 50% chance of showers, otherwise mostly cloudy with a high near 79 and breezy, with wind gusts on Sunday as high as 30 miles per hour. And on Sunday night, showers are likely and possibly a thunderstorm before 1 a.m., then a chance of showers and thunderstorms between 1 a.m. and 4 a.m., and then showers after 4 a.m. It should be mostly cloudy on Sunday night with a low around 52. I'll be back with the rest of your forecast in just a moment.
When you got bugs, we know what a nuisance that can be.
Lock 'em out. From Hinkle Termite and Pest Control, Lock 'em Out is our very effective residential insect prevention program. We'll come to your place and treat your foundation plus all insect entryways. And while we're there, receive a free termite inspection. Call Mr. Rich Wenzel, our certified technician in Norton, at 785-202-0167. That's 202-0167.
Continuing with your weather forecast, on Monday, there's a 30% chance of showers, mainly after 1 p.m. Otherwise, it'll be mostly sunny with a high near 77. On Tuesday, a 30% chance of showers, mainly before 1 p.m. Should be partly sunny with a high near 64 and breezy. On Wednesday, it should be sunny with a high near 73. And on Thursday, sunny with a high near 79. Currently, with fair skies, it is 55 degrees. The humidity is 55%. The wind speed is northwest at 17 with gusts to 25 miles per hour. The barometric pressure is 29.73 and the dew point is 39 degrees. Your weather was brought to you by Hinkle Termite and Pest Control right here in Norton. You can call Hinkle Termite and Pest Control at 785-202-0167 for all of your pest control needs. It is 8:19. It's time for Kansas Sports. That's being brought to you by United Northwest Federal Credit Union, where everything they do for you.
Save more, earn more with the Easy Saver account at the United Northwest Federal Credit Union. Enrollment in this program automatically rounds up the amount of all debit card and share draft purchases made from your checking account to the next whole dollar and deposits into the Easy Saver savings account. Not only will this account help you save, but it also earns 2.01% APY monthly. Special terms and conditions apply. Come in today and open your Easy Saver account at the United Northwest Federal Credit Union, where everything we do for you. NCUA insured.
KIN Sports, I'm Spencer Dupuis. KU has a new tight end commit. It's Bowen Groden. They transfer from Rice, and Michael Swain of Fog.net and 24/7 Sports joined 580 WIBW in Topeka and discussed how he would fit into the KU program.
You've got someone like Bowden who can go in and offer some of that receiving threat. He's played as an inline tight end where he's attached to the line of scrimmage. He's also played out of the slot. So I think he's going to offer KU some receiving versatility. Because, look, KU installed stuff in spring for 2 tight end sets with 2 receiving tight ends. And so adding someone that can fill into that role and have some of that skill set, I think, is really important. So, look, we'll have to see what happens. You know, I think it's you never know with these guys that come in the summer because they don't get that spring. It's going to all come down to the first 2.5 weeks of camp. Can he get it? If he does, he'll be a part of the rotation. I think he'll be a productive player probably for KU. If he doesn't, it's depth, and it gives KU an experienced person who can go in and create more of a barrier between kind of your Hanukkah and Cure and then someone like Carson Broom is coming through the pipeline.
Kansas Information Network Sports, I'm Spencer Dupuis.
It's true, many of us spend more time thinking about what's for dinner than preparing for retirement. But if you think your retirement needs deserve more attention, I agree, and I'd like to help. I'm Edward Jones Financial Advisor Philip Eisenhagen. Together we can give your long-term retirement strategy the attention it deserves. Stop by our office at 418 East Holm here in Norton or call 877-3373. Edward Jones, Making Sense of Investing, member SIPC.